Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday of the week before Christmas, and we in the holiday season, of course. And we're going to film today in the gun tour area, the new gun tour in the gun house. Of course, we want to show off what our supporters and our donors and our volunteers and our crew does to make things happen as we talk about this week's update. Today I had Mike Getcher join me to talk a little bit about the crew that helped put this tour together. This tour is incredible. We're going to start bringing it alive more and more as we go in the coming weeks. But I'm going to turn it over to Mike to talk a little bit about the tour and about the crew that brought this alive.
It's amazing. I think the first time I stepped aboard the ship, we were already talking about the gun tour we would have, but we had some cleanup to do. And so it took us now, if you think about it, all the way back to 2011, 8 years to get here. But over the last year, there's been an extraordinary group of folks here, volunteers aboard the ship, who put all of this together. Dave Vanderveen took the lead in a lot of the cleanup activities. Hal has been just a great asset. I'm going to forget names, so forgive me, but Jim Crash was involved, Doug Johnson, Linda has been involved. There's just been a ton of people. But it's been an extraordinary effort of a full year to clean out the gun house, get the mounts ready to go, the magazine down below, the 5-inch magazine off of Broadway. Just an extraordinary amount of work, and I'm extremely pleased. Inside right here, we're in the gun house at Turret 1. It's all cleaned out, ready to go. We added a few safety features. We allow people split up a little bit to go into the starboard side gun room and actually see the backside of a gun and see the breech itself. We're very excited about this. It's very fun. This is a cool place. This is where everybody wants to go. And so we're very, very excited and pleased to be able to do the gun tour now. It's about a 2.5-hour tour, starting on the dock, goes up to the main deck, down through Broadway, aft plot, 5-inch magazine, hits the strike down hatch there on the second deck, and goes up and goes into Mount, I always forget the number, 51? 51, starboard side?
Starboard side, yeah, that would be 51.
And both the upper handling room and the mount itself before coming into the gun house at T1, and then we end up on the bow. Just a great, great tour. We're telling stories along the way, which is a big shift for us. We're now focusing on stories. People love the technical. We know that there's always going to be a world that enjoys that. But stories are really king, and we're taking a little bit of a note from Walt Disney about having a good story, and that's really true. So we've created a handful of stories, and all of them are real. For example, most people don't even know that the youngest person to serve in uniform during World War II was a young man named Calvin Graham, who was 12 years old, aboard the battleship USS South Dakota, the previous class vessel. And he was there during the great action off of the coast of Guadalcanal and received a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star before his grandma ratted him out and sent home. But just amazing stories. And even inside this actual gun house here, there's some real heroism on the part of the Iowa crew in 1989. So stories are king, and it's going to be a shift in our thinking, but we're excited about where it's going to take us, and we're just happy to be able to offer it now.
This is awesome. Thank you, Mike, and the rest of the gun team for really leading this, and Dave Vanderveen for pushing us hard about 1.5 years ago to do this and work through it, and we're truly appreciative of it. Going into this week, there's a lot going on. Actually, I just came aboard shortly to record this video before I get ready to head out and prepare for our crew holiday party this evening. That we're very thankful to a couple donors, Kip Cypress and his wife Amy Cypress, for really supporting us and continuing to support us with the wood decks and some of the wood timbers that we needed for our mooring situation. They were gracious enough to host our holiday party tonight, and we're very thankful for them to bring the crew out there. When I came aboard, I was able to meet the National Commander for the American Legion. I was actually surprised to see them here, and I had a chance to meet the National Commander of the American Legion and some of the other leadership for them. And of course, that falls into our Veterans Pillar and our Veterans Reintegration Center, which this week we're working on a job description for the Military and Veterans Affairs Manager. For some of you supporters or crew or donors out there that may be interested in something like that, please feel free to drop me an email. My email is jwilliams@labattleship.com, or touch base with any of the leadership, and we'll be happy to provide you a job description and some information on that. Tomorrow, our board of directors gets together and has a great meeting. We do quarterly meetings. Tomorrow morning, the board is going to have a meeting to talk about our National Museum transition, the end of the year, where we're at in our quarterly financials, followed by our Capital Campaign Committee meeting, which some of our President's Advisory Board members participate in as well. which is going to see a big launch come January. We're going to have some great news beginning of January on our special plank owner program for those of you that have been waiting. That's going to be a really exciting thing. And then we go into the end of the week as things start to calm down and we get into the Christmas holiday week as well as New Year's. Of course, vacations will take hold and some folks will be out of the office, but we're going to remain focused on a few things. On Thursday, I've got a presentation at the port on Fleet Week for myself, and also meeting with our PR folks to talk about our communications and PR strategy for next year, and several other meetings on the books and touching base with some of our important supporters and donors and crew. So it's always exciting here at the Battleship Iowa and what we do here, of course, showing the gun room. Thanks for the feedback from everybody last week. That's what we're going to try to start doing. I'm going to start taking this around the ship and maybe introduce you to some of the crew members in different spaces of the ship or different locations. It's windy today. I would have done it probably outside, but I figured you guys would probably like to see the gun room if you haven't seen it yet. So nice to have you guys, and a shout out to Mark Harden if you happen to be watching this. Crew member Mark in Tennessee was stationed here in Turret 1 in the late 80s, so a shout out to you, Mark. Anyways, thank you guys. Have a wonderful week. Look forward to seeing some of the crew at the holiday party tonight, and thank you so much for all that you do.